I am Rajesh Gopie and I am auditioning for the part of Raj's father.
Don't you bloody know that no one is allowed in here without written authorization? No one, as in no one. You dumb bastards. Whose boy are you?
Sir, he's my son. I'm sorry, sir.
Well, sport. Take the bloody grub from the monkey and send him away, before the bell. You'll go hungry today, old sport. Next time, have the monkey deliver your food at the gate. Think you can remember that?
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Gosh, go. It won't happen again, sir.
Pataji, these prisoners, the ones you guard, are they dangerous?
What kind of men get put in jail?
Bad people?
Bad people. That's why when you bring my lunch, you will leave it with the guard at the gate. When the gate opens, you don't look up. Keep your eyes on the ground, you understand?
Why?
Because they are bad men. Even if you look at them, they'll...
What? Raj, no more, please. Do as your father tells you. And no more questions. Pataji, I went to the prison today with your lunch. I could not get in. There was shouting and gunshots. Raj, do not disturb your father.
There were gunshots, but nobody got killed, except one.
Who died?
The one who makes puppets.
Thomas? How?
Killed himself. Now they really know.
Know what, really?
What happened in their homes, where they come from, for their families, the parents, the children.
So can you talk a little bit about what appeals to you in the story, and specifically the character of Raj's father?
Well, Raj's father is definitely a man I've grown up around. The kind of man that I know within my own family and the kind of people I come from, of course. I come from indentured labor stock, so this kind of pent-up anger, this kind of non-communicative, cold, inside personality I'm very familiar with. And I understand where it comes from. I understand the beaten man who has to go home and then deal with his family, and that's the only place he can actually exercise any power. So I first of all, I'm familiar with this man, and secondly, I have a very good visceral sense of him physically. I have a sense of what his body feels like or smells like after a day's work. I can hear the ringing of the abuse. So I feel very attracted to him in that sense because I feel connected.
And what do you think is his most redeeming characteristic?
I think his most redeeming characteristic is that when placed in the position to make a decision about right and wrong, that he sees right and wrong, and he sees what his duty is. And my sense of him is that ultimately he's a Hindu, and his sense of duty will strike him at the right moment, and that's his sense of redemption, that whatever he has endured as a worker in the prison, these incidents with the children and his son, he's able to unblock his own pains about his sons that were killed. And I find that redeeming, that he allows his heart to open, that we have a situation where we have a man who has a shut heart and a shut single focus of having to survive.
And then can you speak to the kind of larger context of the film and how that is relevant specifically to you or to your interpretation of what's going on today?
Well, I think the film is really important because in the sense that, Indians don't feel connected to the story of the Holocaust or the Jewish story. And here we have a story that is very connected. I mean, I knew a lot about indentured labor, but I certainly didn't know about this story. What I can tell you is that I think that Raj's father is a man who is definitely a victim of that colonial period, and who bit, his tongue and had to earn a living and stand his place in the world. It was a time during the time of the colony and the time of the British. So he definitely understood his place. And he's also a man who's killed most of his dreams. So I think that in the modern day we can all certainly identify with. What I like about him is that I like his sense of internal dialogue. I like his relationship. There's a certain way that he speaks with people. There's a certain authority that he has in his voice when he deals with his wife, when he wants to communicate and when he doesn't want to communicate. I think people get that sense about him very quickly from just listening to the tone in his voice. And also because he's pent up, he's about to explode. You don't know when he's about to explode. That silence in him makes it even more scary. And he knows that he exercises total power in the situation. And that's what makes him that, or gets up and walks away. But he's certainly a man of the earth. His hands are crusty, hard. There's dirt under his fingernails. He's a rough man. Mauritius is a sweaty island. So there's a sense of that feeling, a sense of grit, a sense of toughness, a sense of I slaughter my own chickens for my meals. So he's definitely that kind of man.
And can you talk a little bit about the sons and Raj and
I think
the other
sons,
boy?
The two sons being dead, especially the eldest son. The eldest son is such a huge part of an Indian family. It's crushing to him. I think that, the blame on Raj and the mother is just seriously something that eats him up. And instead of dealing and processing, he's blaming. And therefore I'm attracted to the idea that all this unpacks as this movie goes on, the script goes on. I think we have to leave it there. Thank you.